Hello everybody, and a very warm welcome to this special Switch Accountants recording entitled How Any Business Can Beat the Recession and Make 2012 Your Best Ever Year. Now this series has been produced in direct response to the budget which we've just had, and we're going to be looking at how you can make the budget work for your business. Now this is the first in a series of recordings you'll be receiving, one video every night this week, and each one will give you ways to fast track your business success. However, before we get started, I want to firstly congratulate you for getting free access to this video series that you'd normally pay a few £100s to get access to. Thank you very much for downloading it, and you're going to find that in this video series you will find countless ways for you to grow your business. But before we start, I need to check that this video series is the right video series for you and your business. Now, I've made a couple of assumptions about you. First of all, I'm assuming that you're an ambitious business owner. I'm assuming that you're looking for ways to grow your profits and to grow your business. I'm assuming that you want to run a more enjoyable, more fun business. And you're probably hoping to pay less tax. And you're probably expecting that this recording will show you how to do all of this. Now, if you're answering yes to one or more of these, then you're definitely in the right place. So why don't we get started at looking how we can beat the budget. Now, there's fundamentally two ways that you can respond to the budget. You can look to grow your business, or you can look to pay less tax, as the budget should give economic circumstances to grow business, and it should give tax-saving opportunities. However, in the budget we've just had, unfortunately, there's precious few opportunities for business growth, and there's very few tax planning opportunities. So when we're looking at how we can beat the budget, we actually have to go back to basics. And we have to say, well actually, my business is going to be an irrelevance to what the government does. I'm running this business, and I want to be in the driving seat, and I want to be in control of my own destiny. So we thought what we'd bring you to beat the budget is actually just classic business growth and tax planning advice. So what we're going to bring you in this entirely free series, so congratulations for getting hold of it, is actually a 5-part business growth crash course. Tonight's recording will be the first lesson, which will be looking at how you can find ideal customers in this current recession, economic downturn, whatever you want to call it. The next video, which you'll receive on Tuesday night, will look at the right messages for you to craft to attract those right sort of customers. Then in videos 3, 4 and 5, we'll look at 20 of the very best ways for you to grow your business and grow your profits, looking at branding, marketing, sales, and just general business growth strategies. Because if we can't see any opportunities in the budget, we've got to put ourselves back in control of the business, and that crash course will show you exactly how to do that. We're also going to give you on Saturday a special recording on some tax planning opportunities if you fall into a couple of different categories, and it's probably bad news for most people listening to this. The only real tax planning advantages for people in the budget were for companies with profits in excess of £300,000 a year, or individuals with landed estates in excess of a couple of million. For everybody else, there are a few tax-saving opportunities, and I'll quickly run through those, but unfortunately it's not the best possible news. But I will give you some classic, good old-fashioned business tax planning strategies that will work irrespective of this recession. However, I'm not going to stop there. The 5-part crash course is actually, whilst a very valuable product, an introduction to our Business Growth Club. Our Business Growth Club is a membership organisation in which ambitious business owners receive weekly videos from me, like this one, giving them proven and practical ways to grow their business. So whilst you'll get great value from the crash course, a lot of the tactics and a lot more business growth advice is contained in the weekly videos. Now, as a thank you for downloading this series, and as a way of helping you to really accelerate your business growth, I'm going to give you 1 month's membership for just £1. Membership that would normally be £99. I'm doing that because I want to give you ways to grow your business, and so you can start to deliver on the advice and the ideas we give you in the 5-part crash course. Now I'm just going to assume, because that £1 offer is so incredibly good, that everybody listening to this is going to take me up on that offer. And after 30 days of enjoying the Business Growth Club, you'll just receive an email from me asking you whether you want to continue or not. No salesperson will call, you'll have no other contact from us other than an email to say, now you've tried the series, would you like to continue? If you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. You will get a lifetime membership of my top tips business emails, so every single week I'll send you proven ways to grow your business in a written format. So just from downloading this series, I'm going to be showing you how, irrespective of the budget, you can make 2012 your best ever year by giving you a 5-part business growth crash course and an accompanying written guide which gives you 25 further strategies for growing your business. I'm going to give you a tax planning series. I'm going to give you a £1 full month membership of the Business Growth Club, which will give you weekly videos. It will also give you access to a webinar which I host every month. So as I mention the concepts in these videos, if there's any questions you have, write them down and then join me on that webinar. I'll email you with the details and you can ask me as many questions as you possibly like. And I'm also going to give you that lifetime membership of the business top tips emails. Now, I did congratulate you in the beginning for downloading this series and gaining free access to what I'm sure you'll agree is quite an incredible lineup of business growth advice which you are going to be receiving in the next couple of weeks. So why don't we get started with the series and start to look at video number 1 of the 5-part business growth crash course. Now in this series, we're going to take you on a business journey. We're going to start the journey where I believe most business owners start. This is based on my experiences of working with so many private clients and where they all start the journey. However, before we go any further, I'm going to check if that's actually the best place to start the journey, or have we missed a vital first few steps. And then I'm going to give you 5 essential steps across the 5 videos to actually start you on the business growth journey. So why don't we get started? This is where most business owners are. They're kind of stuck, and as you can see with the horse and the cart there, they're the wrong way round. You've got to put the horse before the cart, and that hasn't happened here. And when most new clients come onto the Business Growth Club, or they come and see me, they're usually like this. And that's because they've not put the theory of business growth before the practice of business growth. And I'll explain what I mean on the next slide. As you can see here, the theory and practice, they have to go in that order. The theory is getting your business growth so it follows a strategy. The strategy is your target markets and what you're going to say, what you're trying to sell at what price. The practice is the marketing tactics, websites, pay-per-click campaigns, adverts, networking, all of that sort of stuff. Most business owners go straight for the practice, not considering the theory, and it doesn't work. I don't want to bore you with theory, but you really need to, as I put this here, stop seeking opportunities, the next good marketing idea, but actually apply some strategy. And I've got the perfect strategy for you on the next slide. This is what I call the marketing success formula, the 3 M's. Market, message, media. Market, to whom you're trying to sell, your potential customers. Message, what product are you selling them, at what price, and how are you going to communicate that. And media, that's the tactic you use, the medium you use, your website, an advert, networking, all of that sort of stuff. Most people just go straight for media. It's the wrong way around. Now, if you've been involved with me for any length of time, you might be one of my clients, you may have been to one of my seminars, you might be on my mailing list, you'll have heard me talk about this before, no doubt. I make no apology for that. This is easily the most important formula for your success for business any year, but particularly this year when your marketing budget is probably going to be tighter than it's ever been. So as I've said, the target market is the most important step. Please believe me, out of all the areas of business growth, all the ways I can help you, making you understand that target market is absolutely crucial is easily the best lesson I can possibly bestow. Okay? Get your target market right and follow our advice. Your marketing will work and your business will grow. Get your target market wrong. Doesn't matter what you do following our advice, you won't get the results you and your business deserve. It really is that important. So if it's that important, what do we do about it? Well, the 80-20 principle. The idea that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your effort. Or to put that in business terms, 80% of your profits, the vast majority of your profits, come from just 20% of your customers. Or to be a bit more stark about it, 80% of your customers give you only 20% of your profits. Now, obviously, if just 2 in every 10 of your customers gives you the vast majority of your profits, they are your target market. And you absolutely have to focus your whole business around providing services. Now, it might not work out in your business exactly 20% to 80%, but trust me, I've done this in all manner of businesses, trade businesses, restaurant businesses, service sector businesses, every business you can imagine, and there's always something of an 80-20. It might not be exactly 20% and 80%, but you'll have a small minority giving you the vast majority of your profits, okay? So the take home for today is for you to go and have a look at your business and ask yourself, what products, what services, what customers do you make the most profit on? What is your 20% that gives you the 80%? It's not necessarily your best-selling products, it's those products that you make the greatest margin on, the greatest profit on. You might already know, you might not need to do an analysis, you might already know. A lot of business owners say to me, well, I know that when I do this session it really works, or I know when I sell this product it really works, or people like this service and I know I make most profit on it. As I say, it could be a product type, it could be a service you deliver, it could be a type of customers. Maybe new businesses, maybe old businesses, maybe businesses in a certain geographical area, maybe large businesses, not small businesses. Any demographic or psychographic that brings these people together. This is the most important task you can possibly conduct. And trust me, when you try it, it'll only take you 10 or 15 minutes in your business. Pause this video now if you want and go away and do it, or do it at the end. But once you've found your 20%, it will really have a great focus for going forward. Now that I've said this, it seems so simple, doesn't it, as this slide illustrates. If 20% of your activities are highly profitable, then you need to do more of the 20% and less of the 80% that just doesn't work. It seems so simple. But people say to me, that's great, I've got some customers, some products, some services I make a lot of money on, and other ones I don't, but what do I do about it? Here's the issue. You have the choice. You have the choice what customers you attract and that you accept. You're the business owner. You call the shots. The problem is, at this moment in time, maybe you don't know how to attract more of the 20% and less of the 80%. Don't worry, by the end of these 5 videos you'll know more about that. And in the coming weeks, months and years we'll show you how to do even more of that. But for now, just look at the theory. It sounds so basic. 2 in every 10 of your customers give you great profits. The other 8 out of 10 don't give you very good profits at all. Well, let's focus all of our marketing efforts trying to attract more of the 20% that are highly profitable. So maybe by the end of this year, instead of them being 20% of your business, maybe half your customers are the highly profitable sort. Now you can see the sort of impact that's going to have on your profits. You're going to be much more lucrative. Okay? I'm going to give you an example now, just to drill this point home, because you may have heard about target markets before, but maybe you didn't know how to do it, maybe you didn't appreciate how important it is, but please hear me when I say it's the most important issue for growing your business, and if you apply it properly, it can have a transformational effect across the whole of your marketing. So let's look at an example. You're a business coach. You've done the 80-20 analysis, and you've found you make the most profit from new businesses. At this stage, we don't need to worry about why, this is just an example, but you'll have an example like that in your business. Now let's imagine you're a new business owner, and you're looking at 2 adverts, maybe in the Yellow Pages, maybe on the internet, maybe in a new business magazine. Ask yourself, you're a new business, you're looking for a business coach, which one of these people would you pick? The top advert or the bottom advert? So have a look at them now. Okay, you've probably read them by now. Which one of these 2 business coaches, if you're a new business, are you going to work with? Is it the top one? He's just a coach for owner-managed businesses, and he does loads of different stuff. Totally bland. It doesn't appeal to anybody. You see, whether you're a new business, an old business, a good business, a bad business, a successful business, a failing business, that message means nothing. It doesn't resonate with anybody. Whereas if you're a new business, the bottom one really resonates with you. New business coach, helping new businesses to launch quickly and successfully. Call for a free startup business planning session, and there's grants available. When you actually hang your hat on your 80/20 and you say, this is my niche, new businesses, you can write an advert so that any new business, any member of your niche looking at the advert, naturally gravitates towards you. And you can do some clever stuff as well. In the top one, you don't know what services to advertise. In the bottom one, you know that new businesses just want to launch quickly and successfully. You can also offer them a free startup planning session, because that's exactly what new businesses need. Whereas in the top one, you could be an experienced business, and a startup planning session is stupid. You've been going 10 years, it makes no sense. To a new business, it absolutely makes sense. For existing businesses, maybe there aren't any grants available, so you can't put that in your advert where you say grants may be available. It doesn't mean anything. In the bottom one, you may know that there's funding available for new business coaching, so you can put it in there. Everything about that advert screams to your target market, we are the people for you. And everything in the top one says we're all things to all men, and really we're nothing to anybody. I'm going to give you another example on this next slide as well, just to kind of carry on the experiment, if you will. In this example, you're a builder, and you've done your 80/20, and you make the most money on loft conversions. You do lots of different building work, but loft conversions, they're great profit. For whatever reason, we don't need to worry, you just make money. Now, if you make money on loft conversions, when you place an advert in the yellow pages, on the internet, in a magazine, whatever you want to do, why would you ask for anything other than loft conversions? You make lots of money on them. Just have a quick look at these adverts here. I'll give you a few seconds to read over them. And now that you've read them, just imagine you're looking for a loft conversion. The top one doesn't appeal to anybody. All aspects of building work undertaken. Family-run firm, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Doesn't make any sense to anybody. The second one really appeals to people. Now the top one, and here's the absolute point of all this, the top advert doesn't appeal to absolutely anybody. Whether you want a loft conversion or a house rebuilding, if you want just some bricklaying doing, whatever you need doing, that advert doesn't appeal to anybody. The bottom one has got a chance of working. If you're looking for a loft conversion, of all the other adverts around, that's the one that's going to work. If you're doing this niche marketing, can you see the power of it? And this is the key point, as I put there on the screen. Less is more. People often ask me, will I miss out if I do a loft conversion or new business coaching type advert? Will I miss out on everybody else? Well, there's 2 points to make. The first one is niche marketing always outperforms general marketing. Every study I've ever done, every study of any other business growth expert I know of, always finds that niche marketing outperforms general marketing. That's because marketing is very, very competitive these days. No matter where you want to go, it's a crowded marketplace. And with bland, generic messages like all aspects of building work undertaken, blah, 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 it doesn't appeal to anybody. Where you say, we want to work with people who need a loft conversion, you attract them so much more passionately, so much more strongly. They gravitate towards your business. Secondly, you've not just picked any old something to advertise. You've picked on the something that's responsible for 80% of your profits. So it's a done deal. They're the people you want. They're the people you want to make profit from. You would turn down a couple of odd bricklaying jobs if you could just get a few more loft conversions. And as I say, the niche always outperforms the general. Finally, because I know sometimes this can be a bit nerve-wracking and it seems a big step, don't see this as necessarily changing focus for the whole of your business. Just see it as the objective of your next marketing campaign. So the next time you place your advert or do your website, don't see it as changing your whole business. Just say, for this advert, I'm just going to try and get that loft conversion, that new business coaching, whatever your 20% is, and just experiment. I'll guarantee that if you do that and you follow my advice on how to make it work coming up in the next few videos, you'll see a real improvement in your marketing. Once it starts to work, you'll understand why this is so powerful. Now, it does get better. Once you've actually invested in saying, I'm going to start working with a niche, and your marketing sort of targets that niche, you'll start to work with more and more people from that niche. Now that allows you to get better and better and better at the stuff that you probably enjoy delivering, and certainly your customers give you your most profit from. That means you can build massive value. You can have tailored solutions, giving your niche exactly what they want, and you can give them complete solutions. You can solve all of their problems in one Premier package. So once you've found a niche and you start doing it more and more, you get better and better at attracting the customers and converting them. And as we say here, at a niche price as well. Because you've got a tailored solution, a complete solution, and a real value-added solution, you can rightfully charge higher prices. Maybe you don't want to increase your prices. Maybe you just want more customers at the same price. That's fine, but at least you know at the back of your mind that if you do niche marketing, you build niche products, and it starts to work, you can charge more if you want to. That means the earning potential per every new customer increases. Okay, and in the coming videos I'll show you a little bit more about how to do this. Finally, as well about this, remember, it's maximum profit you're chasing, not maximum sales. You don't necessarily want 10 new customers if 8 of them don't give you much profit. You'd much rather have 5 new customers if they're very lucrative. You're chasing profit, not turnover. Chasing turnover is one of the biggest mistakes any business owner can make. Please don't make that mistake. You don't need to. Niche marketing, as I've shown you in this video, will allow you to avoid that. So this slide's all about putting all your ducks in a row. You get your target market, your niche product, your niche price, and then you do the niche marketing. So in the next video I'll be showing you how you talk the language of your niche, the marketing assets as I call them, the DNA of marketing. And then in videos 3, 4 and 5 I'll show you how to use 20 different marketing strategies, and I'll give you a quick overview of all of them to see how they can work for you and your business. Okay, and finally, I just want to give you this small message to say that you can do it. There's so much negativity in the media at the minute. There's so much talk of recessions and double dip recessions and all of this rubbish. I mean, just that issue of recession. In economic terms, it's a completely nebulous phrase. It's a pointless definition. It proves nothing. It shows nothing. It's just a measure that people can hang on to. Don't buy into all of this talk that now is not a good time to be in business. There has never been a better time for you to be in business. Last year, so many of my clients exploited their profits. Why can't you? Forget the media talk. There's so many opportunities out there. People really are making a fantastic time of their business, and there's absolutely nothing stopping you doing it as well. So when you look at other people who are being successful in this so-called recession, ask yourself, why shouldn't I join them? There is absolutely no reason why you can't join them. We're going to give you all of the mindsets, all of the tools, all of the resources, and all of the ideas you need to really grow your business in 2012. I hope this recording has been useful. I hope it's given you some insights into your business, and I hope you can go away and conduct that 80-20 analysis and really focus on a niche for your future marketing campaigns. Okay, thank you very much for listening, and goodbye for now.